Hello, beauties. It has been a minute. Hello, hello. Facebook, the Meta, they're always changing things. So it's been so long since I've been live. They've changed all the things. So I was not able to go live on my laptop. So here I am on my phone. I hope this will still work out for us. But I'm very excited to be here. I'm excited to see you. And as always, I appreciate you. So welcome. Today we're going to talk about feeling stuck at this stage in life, which is super, super common, by the way. So if you are feeling stuck, you feeling like, you're spinning your wheels, feeling like, you're really not taking action towards the life you want. If you're just feeling like you're in quicksand, basically, maybe you don't even know what you want and you certainly don't know how to get there, then this live is for you, because I want you to learn to take action so you can start thriving. Because guess what? Nobody lives their best life while they're feeling stuck. And I'm going to give you a permission slip today to figure out why you're feeling stuck, how you can get unstuck, and hopefully give you a little confidence to start moving in that direction. So, hello, Patty. So good to see you. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to I have my notes here, so if you see me looking away, I'm not ignoring you. But if I don't have notes, I will be all over the place. So I have to keep myself focused and on track. So, very excited about this topic. I love talking about confidence for women, and I love talking about tools for women to make their lives better. So that's what we're going to chat about today. So let me know in the comments, have you ever felt like you've been stuck at any point in your life? Like, certainly, everybody in this group is 40 and over, right? So let's talk about, 40 and up. Have you ever felt stuck? Because guess what? That's why most of my clients come to me. It's because they feel stuck. They don't know what to do. They don't know what next steps to take. They've exhausted all the things and they need like an outside opinion, right? So if you are feeling stuck, or if you have ever felt stuck in your life, you are not alone. Okay. Also, let me know where you are in the world. We have women in this group from all over. So whether you're watching live, whether you catch the replay, which, by the way, I'm a replay watcher myself, so no shade at all if you're here to watch the replay, but I would love to know you're here. So whether you're live or in the watching the replay, let me know, where are you? Where are you in the world? What else do I want to tell you before we get rolling? I've experienced being stuck in my life for sure, like a few times. So I know what I'm talking about today, because I have been aware of that feeling, and then I've, figured out, what do I need to do to get myself unstuck? So I feel like I can talk about this topic today, right? And I'm also going to talk about because feeling stuck and your confidence go hand in hand. So I'm going to talk about how we lose confidence over time, identify what might be keeping us stuck. I want to talk about those sneaky little ways that we settle, right? Because settling keeps us stuck. And I'm going to suggest tools to help you build your confidence, to help you get unstuck so you can move towards your best life. Because guess what? Nobody has time to fuck around, right? Like, it is now or never, sister. If we're going to live our best life, like, let's do it. Our second act here is the perfect time to do that, right? So I haven't been live in a minute. If you're new here, I am Karen Shatafian. I am the hostess of Riding the Midlife Wave. I'm a life coach for women over 40. I help women quit the people pleasing, get clear on what they want, and decide how they can really build their next chapter in a way that feels fucking good, right? Unapologetically. So in a nutshell, that's what I do. And my goal is to go live in here more often, to build some momentum, to give you guys some tools and trainings. So if there are any topics that you would like me to talk on, if you're struggling with anything, if you just want some support around, please drop them in the comments, send me a DM, because this group is here for you. I want you to feel supported, and I want to talk to the things that matter to you, not just what I think matter to you. So I'm open ears for all suggestions, okay? So let's get into it. Have you ever felt like you're living on autopilot? I certainly have. I spent many years in my 40s just feeling like I was on autopilot, right? You've checked the boxes, you've done the things that you feel like you're supposed to do. You know, you have a solid career, you know, you raised a family, you kept everything running smoothly for years, you know, probably you did all of these together, right? So you've done all these things. So why do I feel like something is missing? Why do I still not feel as fulfilled and satisfied with my life as I could, right? Well, it's because we were never meant to do it all. We were never meant to, I mean, we started getting this message in the late 70s and the 80s, right? You can do it all. You can have the career, you can have the family, you can have the car and the picket fence and all the things, right? And that's great. And I'm here for women doing whatever the fuck they want, right? But we got the message we could do it all, but we didn't get the support to help us do it all, right? So we're doing all the things and nobody else is stepping up to give us next level support so we can really do all the things. So guess what? What did that lead to? Fucking burnout. So now we get to this stage in our life and we're tired. We're burnout because we've been doing all the things, right? And I'm not saying our partners or the people in our lives aren't supportive. They are. And also, we as women are conditioned to do all the things to take care of all the people. So that's kind of our default, right? So we go into this, but by the time we get to our 40s and 50s, we're fucking tired. So if you're feeling stuck, that may have something to do with it, right? And equally important, and here's some tough love right now, we are not meant to settle. We are not meant to get to this stage in our life and just be like, okay, well, that was great. I have however many, you know, decades or years left. And yeah, it's fine. It's all fine. No, we were not meant to settle. You were built divinely and you were meant to fucking thrive for every moment of your life, every decade, every year, every stage, right? So you are meant to thrive. You're built to thrive, okay? And if you feel like you're not in that space right now, let's do something about it, okay? Here's something that we get, as women, we tell ourselves, right? Well, I should just be grateful. I have so much. I should be grateful for what I have, right? It's okay to be grateful and still want more. You're allowed to be grateful and still want something better or something juicier or something bolder or something quieter and softer, right? Just something that feels more, you know, nourishing, nurturing, passionate, exciting, whatever the fuck you want your life to look like. It's okay to want more of that, okay? And sometimes we tell ourselves, is this you? At my age, it's just not realistic to want more. At my age, I really can't do the XYZ thing that I've always wanted to do. At my age, right? Do you ever tell yourself this? I do that. I fall into that sometimes. And then I have to snap myself out of it and say, what the fuck, Karen? No. Doesn't matter how old you are. You're still allowed to dream. You're still allowed to take risks. You're still allowed to like shake things up, right? Doesn't matter how old you are. You are still worthy of a life that feels fucking good for the whole thing, right? Not just when we're young. And what if I tell you that you've been conditioned to settle? You know, the doubt that we feel, the hesitation that we have, the fear of shaking things up. It is not your fault. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's a pattern. And today, we're just going to crack that sucker wide open because we need to shift that pattern. Because I want you feeling confident and I want you giving yourself permission to live the life that you want, whatever that looks like for you, okay? So let's stop settling, start thriving. All right, so here's the deal. I talk about this a lot. Society has conditioned us in women, no, not in women, conditioned women in ways that don't serve us, right? Society wants us small. Society does not want women in their power. I'm sorry to say, okay? So we've been conditioned with all these messages. Be a good girl, you know, be seen and not heard, right? Oh, don't take up too much space. Oh, don't be loud. Don't be emotional, right? All of it. Don't be angry. Oh, definitely don't be angry. So society has trained us this way, right? And then guess what? By the time we get to midlife, when we start getting a little bit older, society tells us, oh, now it's time we're just going to fade away. Like women lose their value as they get older. So These are the messages that we're hearing, right? Nobody's telling us, hey, you're 40, you're 50, you're 60, go fucking charge life. Go reach those new goals. Step out of your comfort zone. Shake things up a little bit. Nobody's giving us as women these messages, right? So we have to reprogram our messages and give them to ourselves. Because if we're going to thrive for the rest of our life, we're not going to be doing that in the comfort zone or in the box that society created for us. It's time to bust out of that fucking box. Something that we also tell ourselves is that, if we ask for more, oh, we're selfish. Oh, if I want something better, something bigger, something bolder, something different, I'm selfish. I should just be grateful for what I have, right? And I'm here to call bullshit. You are not selfish for wanting what you want, for having desires and passions and needs and desires. I think I said desires twice. You are not selfish. You are a fucking human who is worthy of living a life that feels good, okay? And I'm not talking about hurting our people. I'm not talking about dismissing the people in our lives. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying you are allowed to thrive at this stage in life and still care about your people, right? Honestly, they want you to thrive. They really do. They might not at first, because when you start stepping out of your comfort zone, people freak out. We'll talk about that. But I think at the end of the day, they want you to be the happiest version of you. Okay, so remember that. Let's see. Let me get back on track here. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like a lack of confidence, if you've been kind of feeling like your intuition is telling you that something needs to change, you just don't know what it is, I'm so glad you're here. Because guess what? Midlife is not the end of our story. We're not like just fading into the background here. It's time to really embrace our new chapter, right? Decide that, you know what? Sure, is aging hard? Yes. Is it our favorite thing? No. But we're going to fucking do it with passion. We're going to do it the way we want and in a way that feels good, so we can live our life authentically, right? And it takes confidence, okay? That's why in the beginning I told you, feeling stuck and confidence kind of go, or lack of confidence go hand in hand. You're going to need confidence to get unstuck, okay? And if you're waiting to feel confident in order to do something to get unstuck, it's never going to happen. You'll be waiting forever. You have to reverse engineer it. If you want to do the thing right, you have to do it before you're confident. You have to do it, and then you will build your confidence. And then the next thing will be easier to do, because you'll prove to yourself, oh, hey, I did that thing. I can do the next thing, right? So if you're waiting to feel confident to do something different or change things up or, make your life a little juicier, stop waiting, because you're not going to feel confident. You're not going to wake up one day and go, okay, I am so confident today, I'm going to make this big shift in my life. No, it's not going to happen. You got to make the shift, and then your confidence will come, okay? You have to build your confidence. And I wrote a whole blog post about it this week. It's on my website. I'll drop the link. It's called Stop Waiting to Feel Ready, How to Create Midlife Confidence. I know what I'm talking about, because I've had to do it. So how do we lose confidence in the first place? We don't just wake up in our 40s and, be like, hey, where'd my confidence go? It's like we're conditioned out of it over time. Society gets its grip on us when we're young girls, and that's when they start the programming. And this is how we develop our beliefs about ourselves, about the world, about what's possible, right? So we've been taught to be good girls, polite, accommodating, don't be too much. But guess what? Being a good girl keeps us small, and this is one of the ways that society's rules for us just don't serve us. It's not our fault. It's just what we're doing, what we're supposed to do, what society told us to do, right? Be a good girl. One of the beauties about getting to midlife, though, is you start saying, fuck that, right? We start realizing how we have been put in this little box. And in order for us to truly thrive in life, we have to bust that box open. We have to get out of there, right? And so, okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. But the other thing is, we've been conditioned out of it, but also we've spent decades, by the time we get to 40s, 50s, beyond, we've spent decades putting everybody else first, our kids, our partners, our aging parents. Everybody got put before us, right? Our wants and our needs got lost in the shuffle. And now we're trying to find them again. So it's no wonder we feel stuck and kind of, out of whack. The other thing is, and I alluded to this earlier, society tells us that as we are aging women, we are past our prime, right? That we might as well have one foot in the grave, that we've lost our value because we're aging, because we have wrinkles, right? Or because we have gray hair. That's fucking bullshit. Confidence isn't about youth. It's about your lived experience, right? It's about choosing to show up in your life, right? And the more you do that, the more you build your confidence. And then the more risks you take and the juicier your life gets. See how that works? So the other thing is, we have this fear of failure. Like, we all have it. All humans have it, no matter how confident you are. It just, the people who are living their best lives and thriving, they are not letting that fear of failure keep them stuck, because actually failure is how you gain evidence, right? Failures are lessons. So let's say you want to do something and you do it, you try it, and it doesn't work out. Okay, you pivot. So you use it as evidence. You use it as research, right? Failures don't mean anything about you or your character. All it means is that you are ballsy enough to try new shit, right? And then you learn in the process, and then you're able to make the next best choice, okay? The other thing as women, why we've lost our confidence, is because we are conditioned, and I know I talk about this a lot, but it's a thing. We have to be aware of our social conditioning, societal conditioning. We seek approval outside of ourselves, right? We're taught from an early age that what we look like is extremely important. Makeup, hair, thin, fitting into what society deems acceptable, right? So we learn early on that we have to get validation from outside of ourselves. This is wrong. This is all wrong, because guess what? Where true confidence comes is from in here, right? I mean, I just, on the podcast, Drinks with the Girls, if you guys don't follow it, I'll link it in the show notes, but we just did a podcast we did a book review on Brooke Shields' new book, and it's called Brooke Shields is Not Allowed to Get Old, or Brooke Shields is Not Allowed to Age, or something like that. But it talks about that. So Brooke Shields, right? Brooke fucking Shields struggles with confidence and has always, right? So it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. If you are not internally building yourself up, if you're getting all your value from what's out here, you're never going to feel confident. And that's a hard thing to learn how to do, is to not worry about what's happening out here and just worry about what's in here, right? So, we don't just wake up one day and, decide to shrink ourselves. This is what's happened over time. So this is why women get to midlife and feel stuck, right? Because we've been living our lives by all these fucked up messages that we've received. So we develop patterns like this. Like, let me know in the comments if any of this resonates, right? Do you overthink your decisions? This is me. I'm the queen of overthinking, and I've gotten a lot better. But this is one of the ways that I stay small, right? And it's like, well, what are people going to think? And well, what if what should I do? Should I do something different? Literally, it's just like this constant loop in my brain of all the possible scenarios. I overthink things to death, and I've gotten better, but it's still a struggle. This is one of the faulty patterns that I developed because of the conditioning that I had, right? Not trusting myself. That's what overthinking is. Not trusting myself, right? And as I've gotten older, sorry, got a frog. I've learned to trust myself more, and that has helped me with the overthinking. But if you can relate, let me know in the comments. Are you an overthinker? Also self-doubt, right? One of the things that happens over time is that we just have this self-doubt, right? And it masquerades as being realistic. Let's say you have this really fun and funky and scary dream, and you're just thinking, oh, it's just not realistic. And maybe even people in your life tell you it's not realistic. And that's a whole other sucky thing, right? Because people in your life, when you tell them this fun thing or this kind of a scary little dream, they're like, oh, you'll never be able to do that. Or you might tell yourself that as well, right? So this self-doubt it's hiding as being realistic. So take a look in your life. If you tell yourself that, oh, it's not realistic, or, oh, that'll never happen, or, oh, I can't really ever do that, right? No, that's self-doubt. How about this? Are you always waiting? Are you waiting for the perfect moment, right? You're waiting for the kids to move out of the house, or you're waiting to have a certain amount of money in your bank account, or you're waiting for the stars to align, or you're waiting for a certain age, whatever. Stop fucking waiting. I've had too many people in my life in the past year have excruciatingly painful things happen to them, either their health or the health of their loved ones. And let me just tell you, when those things happen, nothing fucking matters. So live your life today as if it were your last, because realistically, we don't know what's happening tomorrow. So why are you fucking waiting? Another thing is like, we believe it's too late, kind of what I talked about earlier. Oh, I'm too old. It's too late. I can't do this thing that I want. No, fuck that. We're thriving till we're going to be like maybe 100, right? But I'm shooting for 90. I feel like 90 is a good ending point, but we'll see. And then also defaulting to what is comfortable, right? Instead of what is possible. So we like to stay in our comfort zone because it feels warm and snuggly and comfortable in there, right? But let me just tell you, your best life's not in there. Your best life is outside of that comfort zone, because pushing your edges, expanding your comfort zone is how you live your best life. And at this stage in life, we have nothing to lose, literally nothing to lose. So stop settling. But these are just some of the patterns that women get into. And it's just like, they're just like on this constant loop, right? All the reasons why we're staying small, we're staying in our box, we're not doing the things we want, we're not living that life that we really want. And then guess what? Next year looks just like the last year. And then the next year after that looks exactly like the last one. And then by the time we realize it, a whole decade has gone by and we're still settling. And I don't want that for you. Bottom line, that's why I'm here. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to settle. I want you to live your life in a way that feels fucking good, whatever that means for you, okay? So here's some sneaky ways you settle without even realizing it, right? You tell yourself, maybe this is just how life is. Maybe this is as good as it gets. No, it's not. Let me just tell you. I mean, it is if you don't do anything about it, sure. But if you don't want this to be as good as it gets, then let's take action. Let's get unstuck. Let's build your confidence. Let's get you out of your comfort zone, because this is not how life is. This is not as good as it gets. It can be as good as you fucking make it. Okay? Something else, a little sneaky way we settle without really realizing it, is we pour all our energy into everybody else. We're pouring our energy into everybody else. And oh my gosh, I'm such a good mom. I'm such a good daughter. I'm such a good friend. I'm such a good partner. Like, look at all this energy I'm pouring into all these people in my life. Oh, this is how I'm getting my value, right? But guess what? You're avoiding your own desires. You're avoiding your own shit, your own stuff. You're getting your value from out here, right? And like I said, I'm not saying to dismiss the people in our lives and not still love and cuddle them, right? But what I'm saying is, give yourself at least as much energy and time and commitment as you give to the needs of others, right? Another sneaky way we settle, and I talked about this a minute ago, is you call it comfort. Oh, I'm comfortable. Everything's fine. I'm fine, right? But it's really complacency, right? You're not feeling brave to make a different decision and get out of your comfort zone. That's complacency, and that's settling, and that will never lead you to your best life. And here's one too. It's like you make excuses. Instead of like making moves, getting unstuck, taking action, doing something, even if it's the wrong thing, right? Like I talked about earlier, failure. It's just learning. It's just research, okay? So we do not take action. We just give ourselves all these reasons why we should not do these things, and then we definitely stay stuck. So if any of this is resonating, I can't really see what's happening here. Hi, Krista. If any of this is resonating, drop something in the comments. Give me like a thumbs up emoji if any of this is resonating, or let me know specifically if you see yourself in any of the things that I've been talking about, right? So, you're here. We all agree. Midlife is not the time to settle. It's the time to put the fucking foot on the gas, right? And it's time to break free from these patterns that we've been ingrained in for decades. It's okay. It's okay to start breaking these patterns, because guess what? That's how you will really start to build your confidence so you can live the life that you want, okay? And don't even get me started on the media, like the messages that we get in the media. Although I do think that is changing, like with like some of the movies that were out, you know, with Demi Moore, Nicole Kidman, Pamela Anderson, right? I think we are finally seeing women over 40 and 50, right, live or in roles that are, you know, multifaceted, right? We don't just see like women over 40 as like grandmas and like the old cranky neighbor or whatever, right? So I think media is changing, but we also get these messages. Well, and the toxic beauty industry telling us, oh no, you need anti-aging shit because God forbid you show your age, right? Yeah, we're not going to talk about that because I could talk about that forever. But the message is clear that society gives us, right? Lower your expectations, you know, just kind of fade off into the sunset. You're fine. Be content with what you have. No, it's time for us to call bullshit and do it loudly. Okay. No more being quiet about what we want. And kind of like I said, did I say this earlier? I think I thought it if I didn't say it, but when we start to change things up, especially at this stage in our life, when we start to like take bold risks or make changes, people in our life will freak the fuck out, right? Because two reasons. When you make bold moves or when you make changes, people have to look at themselves and they have to be like, oh, wow. It just kind of highlights how they're staying small, how they're not making bold moves, and how they might be feeling really unfulfilled, like they're settling, right? So if you tell people, like, when I got a divorce, when I started my business, when I moved after, 25 years, all these things, when I would tell people I love these things, they would freak out at first. It's like, whoa, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Right. And it's because, first of all, they care about me, right? And they want to make sure that I'm well, but also it forces them to kind of take a look at their own life and find out where they're, like I said, where they're settling or where they're playing small, right? So that's one piece. The other piece is people want you to stay the same because then they get to stay the same. People don't like change generally, especially change that they are not initiating, right? So when I made big changes in my life, the people in my life also had to change, and they didn't all like that, right? So that's the other thing. So if you are going to build your confidence and make a move and get unstuck, and I'm not saying leave your family, leave your career, move to Australia and leave everybody behind. That's not what I'm saying. But when you do make a change or start to do some shifts, people are going to freak out, and do not let that deter you. That has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. Okay? So I want you to ask yourself these questions, because if you're like, well, I don't know if I'm stuck. I'm just kind of feeling, like maybe a little discontent, or I'm just kind of feeling a little blah, or I feel like my life's okay. I don't know. Am I stuck? So if you're thinking that, I want you to ask yourself these questions, okay? What stories am I telling myself about what's possible? Like, do you let yourself think about really what's possible? Like, if you let your mind just go wild, okay? So think about what stories you tell yourself about what's possible for you and for your life. I had a client that came and worked with me more than a year ago, and she and I had been in similar circles for years. And she said, leading up to the time that she worked with me, she never thought that the kind of life that I talked about was possible. She never felt like it was possible for her. And this makes me want to cry even just thinking about it. But she had zero hope that living a life that was fuller and more satisfying and felt really good for her, she didn't think that was possible. And I know some women out there feel the same. You might feel that way, right? And I'm here to tell you it is possible. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. But living the life that you want at any stage in your life is absolutely 100% fucking possible. Okay? My client ended up realizing it was possible. She came to work with me for 6 months. Her whole life is changed. And I'm just like, it thrills me every time I see her post what she's doing now in her life, because she's fucking thriving. And she's almost 60. She might be 60. I can't remember if she had her birthday yet, but no, I think she's maybe 59. Anyway, it's never too late. And it is possible. Whatever it is you desire is 100% possible. Okay. So what stories am I telling myself about what's possible? Next question, where in my life am I playing small? Okay, that's super important. I want you to notice, where in your life are you shrinking yourself? Okay, maybe you're not saying the things you really want to say. You're not doing the things you really want to do, right? Where are you playing small? What excuses do I keep repeating? Like, what are the excuses that you use for not doing whatever it is, the things that you want to use? There she is, my girl, Robin. Hello. That's you, my love. So what excuses do you keep repeating? And just notice it, right? Don't judge it. It's fine because you've been doing it for a while and it's okay. But let's just start noticing what excuses that you are telling yourself that are keeping you small, okay? Here's a really good one. If you don't do any of the other ones, do this one. What do I secretly want, but I don't allow myself to admit? Like, you might have some dreams that you put up on the shelf decades ago, and then you started taking care of everybody else's dreams and everybody else's goals, right? And now they're good, but your dreams are still up on the shelf. So what are some things that you secretly want? Some dreams that you have that maybe you've never told anybody, or maybe you did tell somebody and they shut you down, and so that's why you put your dream up on the shelf, right? So what are some dreams that you have that you secretly want, but you're afraid to admit? And also, I think a lot of times we're afraid to admit that we even have these dreams because we feel like they will never be able to come true. So it's too scary to even have hope or to have dreams because we don't, like I talked about earlier, we don't think it's possible. 61 in a couple of weeks and loving it. Oh my gosh. It makes me smile every time I see you, my feet. You talk about thriving and talk about doing like a 360 life change. I mean, yeah, you could write a book on that, girlfriend. Okay, so this self-awareness, these questions I've been asking you, it's just the first step for helping you break free of these patterns we've been in, these beliefs that we've had, break free from being stuck, really, because once you can name it, once you can realize what's happening, you can change it, okay? So here are some suggestions to build your confidence, because we're done waiting, and the only way you can get unstuck is to build your confidence and take action, okay? Because the action, I know there's a scientific way to say it, but it's that momentum, right? Like the more action you take, then you get used to taking action and you build your momentum. But the more you stay stuck, the more you stay stuck. So all it is taking a step. And even if it's the wrong step, there is no such thing as failure. You're just doing research, okay? So make decisions for yourself. And the example I love to use on this is, you know how when it's time to go out to dinner, and if you're with a partner or a friend or something, you're like, well, where do you want to go? Oh, I don't know. Where do you want to go? Oh, I don't know. Where do you want to go? Oh, right. So practice just saying, I want to go to, Don Juan's Mexican food, or I want to go to, P.F. Chang's or whatever. Even if that's not really where you want to go. No, actually, that's not true. Go where you want to go. But just get used to taking the reins and saying, I want to go here. Let's go here. And not worrying about what they want, honestly. Okay. So make decisions for yourself. We are no longer outsourcing our decisions. Okay. We're no longer defaulting to other people. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're not going to look to other people to make our decisions for us. We're making them ourselves. Okay. Do the thing before you feel ready. This is the one, the biggest way that you can build your confidence is that little thing you want to do or that big thing you want to do. Break it down into smaller steps and just take the first step. But doing the thing is going to build your confidence, okay? Because your confidence is going to come after you do the thing. It's not the reverse. You don't wait to feel confident and then do the thing. You do the thing and then you'll feel confident, okay? Next thing I want you to do that can build your confidence is challenge the rules, right? All these ways that society's, kept us in this little box, start challenging those. Start speaking up about those, right? I'm trying to think of an example. There's so many that I do with Tony, bless him. He, I can't think of one right now, but, talk about how these rules are fucked up, how women have had to be a good girl, how women are supposed to be small. They're not allowed to be emotional. Start talking about this. Read about it. Like, go online. It's a thing. So I think the more that we challenge these rules, like who made them, why are we following them, how can I rewrite these rules for myself that feel good, right? My new mantra is fuck the rules. And I know Robin's with me on this. We're just like, fuck the rules, right? Because they weren't made for us. They were made to keep us small. So if you need to rewrite them in a way, that you still feel like, because let me tell you, that good girl conditioning is hard to get rid of. You're not just going to wake up and be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to, not think about that anymore. It's hard because it's ingrained in us, right? So rewrite the rules in a way that feel good for you. That if you need to still be the good girl, fine, but it has to feel good for you. And you have to realize you have to write the rules for yourself is my point, okay? Don't just go by the rules that somebody else wrote for you. The last thing is I want you to do hard shit on purpose, okay? This is a great way to build your confidence. Those things that are scary that you don't want to do, maybe it's, giving a speech, or, maybe it's applying for a job. I have a friend who her job was miserable. She hated her job, but she was so afraid of applying and interviewing for another job. Because guess what? When we get to this stage in life, when's the last time we had an interview? Probably 20 plus years ago, right? So it's a valid fear, but maybe that's something that's keeping you, stuck. You're not, you have this thing you want to do, but you're so afraid to do it. All right. So let's do hard shit on purpose, because this is where your confidence will be built. Your confidence will not be built in your comfort zone, and you will not be able to get unstuck until you build your confidence. So push yourself. And I'm here to lovingly push you. So let me know, what is one thing this week you're going to do to build your confidence? What's one way you're going to, maybe step outside and even just tiptoe outside your comfort zone? You don't have to fucking swan dive. Just tiptoe out of your comfort zone, okay? I want to know what that is. And let's hold each other accountable, okay? I'll try to think of something I'm going to do before this live's over. And you can hold me accountable as well, okay? Here's the thing. You have to write your own damn permission slip, because if you're waiting for somebody else to write you a permission slip to live your best life, nobody's going to write it for you. So you have to write it for yourself. So use this as a tool. Here's a practice, okay? Write your permission slip, okay? You can write it like, Dear Principal, if you want to. Karen has permission to, or whatever. Or Dear World, or Dear Karen. Write it to yourself. Maybe you need to write a permission slip to yourself, okay? You are allowed to crave more passion. You are allowed to crave more joy, more adventure, and you are allowed to crave a deeper purpose, okay? You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to pivot, and you're allowed to start fresh. And I'm going to say something really fucking controversial, even when it comes to your relationships, okay? You're allowed to change your mind. If that relationship is no longer working and you've tried to make it work and it's no longer serving you, it's okay to change your mind and pivot. You are allowed to put yourself first without guilt. So these are the things I want you to put right in your permission slip, okay? So whatever you need to hear most, that's what I want you to put in your permission slip. But these are some examples, okay? Because radical permission, we need radical permission, okay? Not soft permission, we need radical permission, because that means no more waiting for things outside of us to impact us. No, that didn't come out right. We're not waiting for the external validation in order to give us the green light to go do things, all right? We are looking inside, we're listening to our intuition, we're getting brave, and we're doing whatever the fuck we want so we can live a happy life. And guess what? People around us want us happy. They want us thriving, because then we'll be nicer. And then their lives will be better because we will be happier, okay? So radical permission, all right? And here's something that I help, a tool that you can use also, I use with my clients. Start acting like the woman that you want to become. Start acting like her right now, okay? Make decisions like her, set boundaries like her, show up like her, say things like her, dress like her, take risks like her. So this best version of yourself that you're stepping into, be her now, okay? Don't wait until you feel ready, because you become her by stepping into her shoes right now, today, okay? Here's the thing. Breaking free from all of these patterns that we've been, utilizing is hard, because we've had these patterns and these beliefs for decades. That's a long ass time, right? So stepping into a bold and thriving midlife can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to, okay? That's why I created a free resource called the Midlife Reset Cheat Sheet. It's literally one sheet of 3 action steps that you can take to kind of get things moving, to get you out of the quicksand, to get you unstuck, okay? It's a simple and powerful guide just to help you identify what's holding you back so you can take your first badass step forward, right? So let's ditch the settling. We're going to start thriving, right? We're giving ourselves permission to live a life that feels fucking good. Grab my free cheat sheet. It's the Midlife Reset Cheat Sheet. I'll drop... No, I don't have a link for it yet. So why don't you drop the fire emoji in the comments if you want me to send it over to you, or send me a DM and I will get the Midlife Reset Cheat Sheet over to you. It's totally free. But if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you need a little confidence boost, this is the perfect thing, okay? It says my connection is bad, so I hope you guys are still with me. All right. And also, when you sign up for my cheat sheet, you will also get onto my newsletter, and I will give you weekly real talk, strategies, things I'm obsessing about, ways for you to literally create your next chapter in a way that feels fucking good. Hi, Catherine. Okay, awesome. I'll send it over to you. Robin, you're building out a new page on your website. Deep breath. You can do this. You got this, girl. And let me tell you, tech is the worst for me. Like in this whole, throughout my business, my website, my podcast, all of it, tech always is the thing that holds me back. So I feel you, but do not let it hold you back. Put your shit out there, even if it's not perfect, right? Because that's something else we like to do as women, is we have to wait. We feel like we can't do anything until it's perfect, right? No, fuck that. Put your messy self out into the world. Just get it out there, because women need to hear what you have to say. Women need you. So you need to put your stuff out there. Okay. I think that's about it, right? So this was a long one, but let me know, please, if you have any ideas, suggestions, things you're struggling with, things you want me to talk on. My goal is to go live more frequently, talk about things that really matter to you, because this group is for you. I don't want to just talk about things I think you want to hear. I want to talk about things you want to hear. So let me know, drop any ideas in the comments, DM me. I'm always available for a conversation, because my goal is to support you as you take steps to your best fucking life, right? Whatever that looks like for you. So thank you so much. I appreciate all of you lovelies being here. If you're watching the replay, #replay in the comments so I know you're here. And until next time, take sweet care. Have a great day. And I love ya.